If you see black-eyed children, don't let them in. According to legend, black-eyed children are believed to come to your house, to your vehicle window if you're alone at the parking lot, and to places where there aren't many people. When they appear, they often say that they need help with something and that you must let them in. They must enter, whether it is in your car or at your house. Anyone who encountered them has almost immediately felt an overwhelming sense of dread. If you don't let them in, they become increasingly insistent that they need to be allowed in. The kids have pale skin and black eyes. Apart from their blacked out eyes, these children seem normal. Nobody knows why or how these kids appear. Some suggest that these children have existed since the 1980s, although most sources state that the legend originated around 1996. But remember,
These are phobias you didn't know you had, part 2.
Okay, so take a look at this photo. When you looked at it, did you feel any sort of fear or no? Or just anything at all? Okay, what about this picture? When you look at this picture, do you feel like you cannot walk towards that doorway?
If you felt anything from looking at these photos, you might have nyctophobia, which is the extreme fear of darkness or nighttime. Now, for the final test to see if you have nyctophobia, is this video I'm about to show you. If you feel anything from watching this, you 100% have nyctophobia.
Let's talk about this picture. I think this one's kind of unusual for us because it was captured in a restaurant basement, but if you're looking hard enough, I bet you can already spot what's wrong with this photo. Now, the background on this photo, it was taken by Michelle Young. She was a waitress at the Sentinel Shore Bar and Restaurant when she went to the basement to get takeout supplies. Then she heard something. She takes this picture, right, and she sends it to her friend. She says, "I swear to God, I just heard something move down here," not even realizing what she'd captured in the background. An unknown man who seemed to be watching her from the dark of that storage room. I think eventually she does realize this later on, what she had captured. Management is alerted, police come, they search the entire basement. They never found who this was. So the question just remains, who was he? Why was he down there? And why was he watching her? And if you are loving Creep Time, make sure to go follow on Insta.
This girl summoned an unknown entity on TikTok Live. So I'm gonna play the clip where you can hear the entity, but let me give you some context first. Basically, this girl was streaming herself doing a ritual. Nobody exactly knows what the ritual was meant for, but it seems like whatever the ritual was actually worked. Now, before I play this, if you're about to go to bed, you might want to stop watching. Here's the clip.
These are the scariest curses to use on people in real life, part 1.
Up first, to perform the first curse, all you need is a piece of paper and a pen.
Then draw the shape of a person on the piece of paper, and be careful not to rip the paper while you're drawing on it.
Then draw an X on the figure in any place, whether it be the head, chest, hands, feet, anywhere.
Then imagine the person you want to curse, and stab the part of the body where you put the X. Then keep stabbing it until it's black and there's a hole in it.
Now the person that you wanted to curse will start to feel a pain in their body, exactly where you stabbed the X on the piece of paper.
Now either two things can happen to the person that you cursed.
They will either have bad luck for the rest of their lives, or they will die. But if anybody sees you drawing on the piece of paper and performing the curse will then backfire on you and you will experience the full consequence.
I've been getting tagged in this video for the last couple of weeks, and a lot of people wanted me to talk about it. I wanted to stay away from this story only because I already know what comes with talking about this family. But you guys will not leave me alone, so here we go.
This gate. 17700. What is this? Where does this go? More little mini pyramids. Wow. Holy moly, do you guys see that? They have signs, we do not call 911. I don't know what to feel about this place. But dude, guys, look through here. You guys see that statue?
As you can see, that creator stumbles upon this home in a neighborhood that he was working in. If you pay attention to the address 17700, that is very important. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. Plus the 2 zeros gives you 666. The reason why this is important to know is because of who this property is owned by. This home was actually purchased in 1919, and it was not in a neighborhood at the time. It sits on about 25 acres of land, and the family that purchased this land actually used it for their elite parties to kind of mimic the Bohemian Grove. If you know, you know. Even though their parties were very upscale, they were known for the huge mask and kind of, crazy costume headpieces. This was a way for the elite to keep their anonymous identity when they would go to these parties, because people kind of knew what would take place once they got to these events. And don't get it twisted, these were not your average, let's just go have a great time type of parties. Most of the pictures I cannot share on here because they do practice in cannibalism, human sacrifice, and so many other things that TikTok will not allow. As you can see, this is one of the pictures that I cannot show the full picture, but if you look by my cheek, you can kind of tell what's going on. They held these parties for years, up until about 1958, when they decided to turn the property into a boarding school for little boys. The boarding school was opened up in 1961. However, it was closed just 1 year later due to the students not returning because of the events that would take place at this school while they were there.
Part 1. Leave a like for Part 2. What appears to be a giant humanoid creature was walking on top of a mountain in La Blanca, Mexico. It was caught on camera by Daylove Dexter, and well, check this out. The size of the creature is huge compared to the houses, and it's walking really fast, but apparently this isn't the first time something like this is caught on camera. This video is, well, check this out for yourself.
Yo veo un gigante ahí arriba. ¿Qué será? Se mueve. Que ya se movió del lugar. Miren. Ya veo caminando.
Whatever this thing is, it's huge and it's walking really fast. Video was also recorded in Mexico, but there's more. Andrew Dawson caught something really similar on camera, but this time in Canada. Check this out.
What is it? It's a person, dude. No, seriously, pull over, pull over. It's a person standing there.
No, it's not.
Dude, if you see what I see right now,
What appears to be a giant humanoid creature was seen by Andrew and his friend that day. The next day, Andrew and his friend decided to go and venture to the top of the mountain after they saw 2 helicopters extracting something from that mountain.
we are
This is what
on our
happened.
way. We're gonna go find somewhere closer, and I'm gonna set my camera on something so you guys aren't complaining how shaky it is in the truck. The guy's here again. Yeah, this is him.
Upon arriving on
What's
top of the
going on?
mountain, a cop stopped him.
Road's closed. Turn around.
Really?
Yeah, man. Just turn around, please.
Okay.